So, Roland, what in the heck are we looking at right there?
It's a lamp, and it's the smartest lamp in the world. It's called Nobi, and its mission is to enable elderly to live happily, safely, and independently as long as possible, wherever that is, at home, nursing home, geriatric ward. We're there to help.
And it just is a standard lamp specification, so you can retrofit an existing operation?
Absolutely. It is as easy to install, and it looks exactly as an ordinary lamp, but inside it's full of technology. Sensors, computing power, and we use that to do fall detection, fall prevention, and even fall prediction.
That's pretty cool. So why don't we talk about the technology a little bit, and then we'll go into some of the features, but it sounds like you're using vision to accomplish this.
One of the things that we use is vision. We also have radar. We even have humidity and air quality monitoring on board. So it's pretty comprehensive as far as sensors go. For the fall detection, we use vision, but in a privacy-proof way. So what happens is the lamp makes images, but immediately translates these images into abstract stick figures. And it's these stick figures that our AI platform is analyzing. So even our computer is not looking at you.
Now, is the AI platform local to the lamp?
It's in the lamp, yeah. We're a European company. Europe likes to regulate stuff and is very fond of privacy. So is our technology, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, but there is some connectivity to the internet because you have 24/7 monitoring, right?
Absolutely. So the monitoring happens locally. The treatment of anything that we pull in happens locally. But from the moment there is an event, there is an emergency, that's the moment when we connect to the cloud to be able to connect to whoever needs to deliver care to you. That can be family and friends. It can be a professional caregiver. Yeah.
Well, one of the problems, of course, with aging is you don't notice it, right? But now, is that one of the things you can do is start to predict things?
Absolutely. And the more technology advances, and that should be the role of technology, the more we go from intervention after something happens to prevention to make sure that it doesn't happen at all. And I think we will see amazing things in the years to come in that field. Yeah.
And now you're in Europe. Are you in production in Europe?
Yeah, so we manufacture in Europe. We plan to manufacture in the US for the US market. We believe in local manufacturing as soon as the volume that we sell here is large enough. Yeah.
Now, from a monitoring standpoint, are you able to do that in the United States, or do you need partners?
Yeah, we like local partners, and it's not only about the technology, it's mainly about user experience. We need to be aware of the differences between Europe and US. It's the small things that make a product successful or not. So we need local partners to help us understand what American consumers expect of technology. Absolutely.
That makes sense. Now, I'd imagine because you're doing most of the processing locally, you're not talking about a lot of data, probably.
No, most of it stays on the lamp, but even then, whatever we escalate needs to stay, of course, in the US. And so we use Amazon cloud services, so there is no American data that leaves the US. Same for Europe. There's no European data leaving Europe. Yeah.
And then I assume it connects via Wi-Fi and that sort of thing.
Exactly. So Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all the standard protocols we have on board. Because Nobi does not only take in data that it captures itself, it can also connect with any other smart device that you have around. A smart scale, smart thermometer, blood pressure monitor, whatever you have, will take in that data and make sure that it gets delivered wherever it needs to be delivered.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, are you working with institutions, whether they're assisted living or that sort of thing?
Yeah, that's the market we know best. Assisted living, nursing homes, intramural care, that's our background. This year is the year that we move also into private homes. So very exciting journey for us.
That is. I suppose it's a whole new set of challenges, though.
Absolutely, and we want to be very careful there. So the large part of this year will be spent in learning, so pilot projects, where basically people will have these lamps at a very, very low price, but in return we will ask them every week, hey, did we annoy you? And if so, why, and what should we do differently? Yeah.
Now, I imagine you'd recommend putting one of these in every room, but is that necessary?
Depends. What we like is that in the rooms where you spend 80% of the time, that there we have Nobi with all its capabilities. In the other rooms, we have Nobita, which is the smaller and cheaper sibling, has less functionality, but for anything that is emergency related, we have it fully covered then. Yeah.
Well, this seems to make a lot of sense because certainly I've seen where People don't want to wear the bracelets and so forth. So this seems like a great alternative.
Yeah, absolutely. We like wearables, definitely to complement our offering, but we believe that a successful emergency system should always be passive. You cannot require people to push buttons when they're panicking. They just don't. They don't wear them, and when they wear them, they often forget to use them. So the paradox of any panic button is that the more you need it, the less likely you are to use it. And for something so important as your health and your life, there is better solutions available.
So what about the willingness of people to wear bracelets?
Well, actually, panic buttons, etc., are quite well adopted. There is an interesting academic study that showed that in the age group of people that are older than 80 years old that fell and that were on the floor for over 1 hour, 92% of them actually had technology, had alarm buttons. But of that group, 80% was unable or unwilling to use that button when they needed it most. So the paradox of that technology is the more you need it, the less likely it is that you will use it. The more important the emergency, the lower the use of these buttons, and that's really why you need systems like Nobi.
Excellent. Well, Roland, I wish you luck as you.
Thank you.
United States. Thank you.
Great.